Hi, my name is Tam, and over the last few years, I have faced a lot of difficult situations that I have consistently had to deal with alone. And through every single one, when I came out the other side, I always left learning some sort of new reassuring or comforting fact that I took into me in the next situation. And as time has gone on, I feel like I now have this bank of knowledge that helps me deal with any adversities that come my way. Information that has soothed me when I have felt insecure, sad, lost, indecisive, full of self-doubt, anger, worry. And today I'm going to be sharing them with you. 1. The factor that decides whether today is a good day or a bad day is you. Literally, you get to make that decision. You get to decide the energy you bring into the day, how you feel when your feet touch the ground once you get out of bed, what your perceptions are of everything you encounter that day, whether or not that person's words can actually affect you, whether or not the choices you make throughout the day are good or bad or just okay because you're a human trying to do your best. So the choice is yours. Is today gonna be a bad day because you're allowing external influences to have power over you, or is it going to be good? 2. You are not perfect. And you never will be. There are days that you will be so far from it that even on the days that you are trying your hardest to keep everything together and act like you've got it all together, you simply don't, and you feel like you're crumbling on the inside. But this is okay, and it's human, and it's lovable. Learning to accept and love yourself in the moments that you feel so far from perfection is real peace and happiness. 3. Nothing is real. You can vlog in the street, you can start taking selfies while checking out at the grocery store, you can bust out some dance moves in front of a stranger, and none of it will matter 5 minutes later. We are a speck in the universe, and people will not remember us. And how freeing is the realization that we are not that relevant. Why? Because everyone is too busy worrying about how they look and how they appear. They might notice you, but they will not remember that embarrassing thing that you once did. 4. Every time you feel insecure, I want you to remember the amount of silent admirers you have on this planet. There are people on this planet that look at you in awe, that wish they had your smile, your intelligence, your energy, your humor, your talents. Or they're just supporting everything you do from a distance because they're too shy to say it. You make more of an impact and spread more positive energy than you will ever know. You are impacting the lives of people that you will never meet, that you are not aware of, and that are clapping for you behind the scenes. So please remember that the next time that you are doubting yourself. 5. Nothing is going to be the same in a year. This is so scary and reassuring all at once. Remember this and take a look around right now and be grateful for everything you have in this current moment. Sometimes I get so caught up in planning my future and thinking about what city I'm going to be living in next year, what my apartment's going to look like next year. And I look around and I remember I'm never going to be in this exact room ever again. I'm never going to be able to touch it and experience it again. And just that gives you so much appreciation. And the same goes for if you're really struggling right now and going through a lot of hard times, you will not be in that place a year from now. You'll get through those exams, you'll distance yourself from that person, you'll overcome the hard feelings and the adversities, and you will grow and you will fight and you will put yourself in a new environment, situation, or even mindset. 6. You can fall in love at any time. Just because you haven't met the right person yet doesn't mean that your life lacks love. There is still space to fall in love with sunsets, deep conversations, your favorite food, smells that transport you back in time, pictures you forgot about, new experiences, late night drives, accomplishing your goals, listening to new music, growing as a person, learning from your mistakes. There is love to be found in everything. 7. Every person you admire is a reflection of yourself. And I want you to remember this the next time that you are comparing yourself to another person's journey, thinking that somebody is so far ahead of you, or putting them on a pedestal, because I promise you, you are capable of the exact same thing. Everything you admire in another person or another thing is a reflection of you. Your ability to perceive a certain admirable quality in another person is only possible because it's already existing within your inner world, within your consciousness. Otherwise, you wouldn't even see it. You wouldn't find anything to admire about that person. What you admire about others says a lot about you and what you're capable of. Your heart is calling out towards a particular dream or way of living because it already exists within you, and a future version of you already has it. You aim towards certain things or want to be like your idols for a reason. It's because you're meant to also have that thing, and that's why it resonates with you. 8. Taking time to improve your mental health is productive. You are not behind for wasting time or sleeping or resting or just having a lazy day. That space in which you are gentle for yourself and accommodating to what your body is needing, which is rest, just goes to show how much self-love you have. I used to put such emphasis on attaching my worth to external achievements that I would neglect caring for myself all the time. I wouldn't care if I had consistent sleep. I didn't even consider how my mental health was doing. 9. Losing people isn't a sign of your weakness, it's a sign of your growth. We outgrow people when we outgrow a version of ourselves. Give yourself a pat on the back for even having the courage to leave a situation that no longer serves you or aligns with your purpose. Losing people is a natural part of life, and guess what? Every single person goes through it multiple times throughout their life. So no, you are not the only person in the world suffering with this problem. No one is trying to make your life harder. No one is out to get you. Whether you lost a friend, a family member, a romantic interest, we've all gone through it. We all heal after it, and we always get a happier ending right after. This experience was meant to happen to you, and so much good is going to come out of it in the long run. 10. There is nothing wrong with you. You are enough. You're not behind. You're not a bad person. You've made mistakes, sure. You have patterns to unlearn, maybe, but there is nothing inherently wrong with who you are at your core. Sometimes good people make bad decisions, or they let others down, but we learn from it and we grow from it. You are a person. You can't get it right 100% of the time. But starting your growth journey isn't about being a completely different person and being someone who never makes mistakes and kind of undoing every embarrassing thing you've done in the past. Your growth journey is learning to appreciate and highlight all of the components that make you as good as you already are. You don't need to be anybody else. There is so much to love about you already. You are so many people's dream person. 11. Nobody knows you better than you. No one on this planet can give you the correct answer as to what you should do with your life, what next decision you should make, who you should marry, who you should be friends with, what job you should take, how you should feel about a certain situation. You always have the right judgment. You are the only expert on your life because you are the only one that's actually lived through it. Stop doubting yourself, stop neglecting all of the trust you have in yourself for the opinions of other people. Because they don't know you 100%. They are merely projecting opinions on you that are based on their own life experiences, their own life trauma, their own biases, their own insecurities. Their opinions on what you should do is never about you and everything about them. So go against other people's advice courageously. Start trusting that you do know what's best for you, that your gut feeling and what your heart is calling out for actually means something, and that other people's disapproval doesn't mean a thing. 12. Success is 5% brains and 95% consistency. So no, you don't need to be naturally talented, blessed, and photogenic. You get to create your own opportunities no matter who you are or where you come from. The possibilities for you are endless. 13. There is so much good happening all around us all of the time. Unfortunately, the media, news outlets, people on socials, our friends are focused on the negative a lot of the time, always sharing bad news. This person's having an affair, this person failed an exam, this person got fired. And as a result, a lot of us tend to live in fear of our next steps, of changing our lives. What if we trip up like many other people did? We always hear about all of the tragedies that are happening. Wars, deaths, diseases, heartaches, divorces, affairs, and so many more scandals. But guess what? 7 billion people continue to live. Someone got their dream job today. Someone bought their first house today. Millions of people live passionately in love in long-lasting relationships where they actually found their soulmate and it worked out. Thousands of flights take off and land safely every single day. Technology in medicine is rapidly improving so that our quality of life can actually improve. How fortunate are we? It's not the end of the world just yet. 14. Remember when you were in school and you used to look at that group of people and think, oh, that's so cool and why can't I be like them? And look at you now. You don't even remember them. Look at you now, flourishing into the best version of yourself. Finding your own way through life, not wanting to be like anybody else. Realizing that no matter how cool somebody appears to be, we all have our insecurities and our own demons that we are fighting on a daily basis. So, literally no one is worth the comparison. That's right, the only person worth being is yourself. 15. You fought your biggest battles. Only you know what it took to get to this point. You've picked yourself back up after the hard days. You've wiped the tears from your face. You're still recovering from things you don't talk about, but you're doing your best every single day to continue to show up to your responsibilities, to the loved ones in your life, to trying to be better and grow into a better person. You might be going to therapy, you might be taking the accountability to know that you need help or reaching out to your loved ones to get advice. Hello, maturity. Like, honestly, who would have thought? Do you know that that is the true form of adulting? Whether you get through it on your own, whether you ask a friend for help, I don't care. But look at you waking up every single day, continuing to try your best. That is hard. You haven't given up yet. 16. Remember that time that you were super heartbroken and you thought you'd never recover and your life was over? Well, guess what? You're still here. You wake up every day despite every bad thing that's ever happened to you and decide to keep moving forward? What? Do you know how hard that is? And every day, the more steps you take, the closer you are to achieving the life that you dream of? Wow. 17. Forgiving yourself is easier than you think. You had to go through that hardship. You wouldn't be here now otherwise. You wouldn't have the desire to be extra kind because people didn't treat you that way. You wouldn't have the passionate desire to keep aiming higher and doing better. Your past self created the present version of you. The version of you that is sitting right there watching this video now. You owe everything to the past version of yourself. No matter how many times she tripped up and fell and made the wrong decision and made mistakes and spent nights crying, she got you to where you are right now. So stop resenting her and start thanking her. 18. Letting go equals letting in. Letting go is the most freeing experience you will ever have. That moment when you finally realize that you deserve better and you're allowed to want better and you're actually going to go for it. Leaving people behind is hard, but the space you're gonna make for all of the new opportunity and people and love to come through is well worth it. So prepare yourself for so much more abundance and love and up-leveling to the next version of your life. 19. You are one decision away from a completely different life. Whether that's leaving a relationship, quitting your job, starting a new friendship, moving to a new town, waking up earlier, trying Pilates, traveling alone, starting that business. Anything away from completely transforming your life and you don't even know it. How exciting is that? You are closer to your dreams than you will ever know. 20. You get another chance tomorrow. Didn't complete your to-do list, didn't go to the gym, fell into old habits, didn't eat healthily again. Well, guess what? The sun is gonna rise all over again and you get to start all over. Every day is a brand new chance at life. So okay, maybe you weren't your best self today, that's fine. But the possibilities are endless tomorrow. The person you were today has nothing to do with the person that you're going to be tomorrow. You get to look at things differently, you get to act differently, you get to pick up new things, and you can completely forget one of the mistakes you made the day before. The past is the past. Don't keep associating yourself with it. 21. What you want is out there. Kindness exists. Unconditional love exists. Loyalty exists. Romance exists. You know why? Because it exists in you. You think you're the only one on this entire planet with the qualities that you desire? I used to always think and say people aren't nice. But I am a person and I am nice and I will find others who are also nice. 22. You are always protected. Everything is always happening in your best interest. The world does not wish to give you a hard time and keep you away from your goals. So when it takes something, when it takes longer than expected, when you get rejected from that thing you thought you really wanted, it's all part of the big movie script to your life. And the end of that script takes you to a place that is better than you could have ever imagined. Because life is good and beautiful and you will experience that. You are the main character and your life is a movie and it's time you started looking at it like that. After all, if it didn't have a few plot twists and a few sad moments, the main character wouldn't have anything to bounce back from, to learn from, to get to a better side of things from. It's just an inevitable part of the journey. It doesn't define what the entire journey is going to look like. And I want you to remember what isn't right for you will never remain in your life. So trust in the process because everything is unfolding in your best interest. 23. Your purpose in life is merely to experience, to just enjoy the passage of time. You don't need to win awards. You don't need to become a doctor. You don't need to make millions or even become famous to have a successful life. You simply living and fully having the human experience is you living life to the fullest. You've lived and lost and loved and laughed and cried and ran and swam and lived. Look at the amount of memories you've created. Look at the amount of moments you have to look back on at such a young age. You still have the rest of your life ahead of you. You're doing great, and no amount of external achievement can replace that. 24. It is not your responsibility to fix everything. You don't need to know or predict everything. Let today just be today. Let this month be as messy as it feels right now, while remembering that you can grow and adjust through the chaos, while knowing that better days will arrive. 25. When you don't want to wake up the next day, when life feels exhausting and you just don't want to do it anymore, remember that there are so many people that you have yet to meet that will love you more than you could dream up. You are yet to experience the best days of your life and outdo yourself in ways you thought you never could. Just because this week was horrible, or even if the last year was rough, hell, even if the last decade was a struggle, there is still opportunity for it to get better and better and better. A bad day does not mean a bad life. 26. Being misunderstood is magical, because people will never understand you. As hard as you try to make them, it's literally impossible. And because of that, you can be whoever or whatever you want to be. People will perceive you in whatever way suits them. So instead of consorting yourself into a million different shapes to be more digestible to another person, be free, knowing only you know you, and only you are the only person you're supposed to make proud. 27. It's okay to be sensitive. Don't let others tell you it makes you weak. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You feel things deeply and you care with your entire soul. That sure isn't weakness, that is the epitome of strength. Sensitive people have so much power and so much intelligence and so much love to give, and they get to actually experience life fully. If you have ever felt insecure about being sensitive, because I sure as hell have in the past, think about it this way. You have person A, who has never been called sensitive, and you have person B, who was always called sensitive. Person A is kind of emotionally available, they're a bit meh, and they don't feel sad a lot of the time because they don't really react to a lot of things. But because of that, their happiness is also always capped because they're not emotional about anything really. Person B feels the deepest sadness one could possibly experience when something goes wrong because they feel it with their entire being. But when a good day arises, they are on cloud 9. They are jumping for joy. That happiness fills their entire body and feels like electricity. What would you rather have? 28. You didn't deserve what happened to you. You didn't deserve the mean words, the raised voices, the judgment, and the neglect. If you're ever questioning whether it was even that bad, it was. If you still think about it and hurt over it, then your pain is most definitely valid. And you don't need anyone's permission to perceive it in that way. Just know, as time goes on, that emotional wound will ache less and less and less. And before you know it, you'll be living an entirely different life, no longer affected by it. 29. When you feel alone, like no one has your back, like you have no one support and you're completely isolated, you still have yourself. You are your own best friend. You have the ability to be your own therapist, your best secret keeper, the ability to spoil yourself and treat yourself in the way that you actually deserve, the only person that's going to understand you the most. I couldn't think of a more worthy number one companion. So please appreciate yourself more often. 30. You can give yourself permission. You can allow yourself to change your personality, your style, to strive for something different, to not be or to be affected by something, whether or not you view something as a failure or an opportunity to change your path and try something different. You are the person in the driver's seat. Stop allowing other people to dictate what you should feel, or allow society or our culture or people on social media to dictate your emotions or your mindset. Even if you're the only person on the entire planet that thinks a certain way and no one agrees with you, it doesn't matter. As long as it gives you peace and reassurance and comfort, you're winning. Smile. I want you to smile with me. You know you want to. You know you want to smile. Come on. I see you doing it. I see you doing it. And that is step number 31. Your ability to pass on a smile. Smiles are contagious. Even if you think you have nothing to offer to the world, you stepping out onto the street with a smile and radiating good energy makes a stranger's day better. That is how much power you have as a person. And that is also exactly what I wanted to do with this video. I know it was slightly different, but this is my way of saying a big thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope this video brought you some sort of reassurance and comfort. If it did, please let me know which point resonated with you the most in the comments, because I'd love to know. I think everyone would kind of take something from a different section of the video. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm really suffering from a flu right now, which is why I sound kind of weird, but I hope you understood everything I said. If you enjoyed this, make sure you give it a like and subscribe so I can see you in next week's video. And yeah, that's all. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.